All right. Sorry, everybody. Some kind of audio error took place. I don't know what it was with the previous video, but this will, to the best of my ability, be just a re-upload of that same conversation talking about Infinity War. So, same warning as before that this this video will include spoilers, and I don't have a lot of guilt about that because of the fact that most of the people that I'm personally um, familiar with or people that I know, they've already seen it. So I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Plus the fact that a lot of channels are already doing stuff on unpacking the ending and stuff, so I don't have a lot of guilt. If you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to have it spoiled, turn it off, go watch the movie. But if you don't mind spoilers or you've already seen it, let's go. First thing you need to know about me personally is that I am a Marvel fanboy. I'm a comics fanboy in general, but I'm a Marvel fanboy. Captain America is my guy, so but I'm also the kind of fan that is really hard to satisfy in areas like this when it comes to storytelling, and I want it to be faithful to the canon, I want it to be all this stuff, and I want the actor choice to be on point, and I want the plot to be on point. Like, I want all that stuff to be exactly the way I want it, which makes me a little bit of a hard fan to please. But given that as a premise, I really liked Infinity War. I enjoyed it pretty much from beginning to end. I love the cold opening where it's already in the beginning, like you're already in the middle of it. You feel that heavy weight of despair and fear and confusion that is being kind of filling that scene with the darkness and the destruction and everything. It was so good, so good. And just from beginning to end, like, it was fascinating watching the repeated character archetype of basically the trolley problem. If you don't know what I mean by that, Wisecrack has a great video on it, kind of talking about the value of human life and stuff. Go watch that instead. They'll do a better job than I could. But honestly, I loved that movie. But just because I liked it, I'm still a fan, and so there's obviously going to be some things that I didn't necessarily like. So, spoiler time. This is the barrier. Like, don't continue into this video if you don't want spoilers. The first thing is, I thought it was weird, the people that they selected at the end of the film to die, I guess, because it seemed like, as far as the narrative was going from beginning, at least so far, where it was looking heavily like they were going to transition off, that Iron Man was no longer going to be Iron Man, that, or at least Tony Stark wasn't going to be Iron Man anymore, that Steve Rogers wasn't going to be Captain America anymore, and so forth. Like, that they were doing a little bit of a passing of the torch, narratively. And now at the end of the film, there's no heir for the shield. And I'd say probably the most likely heir to the armor, aside from maybe Pepper Potts, would have been Peter Parker. Both of them are now gone. And then obviously, like, they just barely started Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man's kind of things, and yet they've kind of severed those as well. So I thought, like, I guess bold, maybe, but also a little confusing. I can see, like, so having, they're very, obviously, I'd say they're going to transition off, that they're going to have a female Black Panther from now on, and I like that idea. And then it looks like they're going to try to build maybe a Miles Morales Spider-Man, and I'm okay with that too. Honestly, I'm kind of tired of Robert Downey Jr. Not that he's a great actor, and he's a spot on portrayal for Iron Man. I'm just like, they themselves even have been vocal about the fact that they're kind of tired of these films now. They've been in so many of them, and like they're wanting to move on with their careers and go into other things, and like they've been shoehorned into more. So I don't know, like that's kind of interesting. Aside from that, Idris Elba saying, I want to have a more significant role in the Marvel Universe means I want you to see my insides as I bleed out, apparently. And I have... So, I don't know. But aside from that, I have some questions about the story. So, if you've seen the movie, then you've seen the ending. And at the end, all these people start to dissolve. Right? They start to die. And so, I have this to ask. Why didn't Stormbreaker's handle dissolve as well? So, big critical moment of the story where Groot grabs the hammer, breaks his own arm off and stuff, like kind of like a pivotal scene there where you see like the heroes are finally getting their acts together and stuff, like things might actually work out for them. And then obvious, what happened? They lose, clearly, like they were supposed to. It's a two-part story, like, obviously. But anyways, if, like, Winter Soldier's arm dissolved, right? And then Falcon's wingsuit, Spider-Man's tech armor, like, all that stuff dissolved with them as they were dissolving. Everyone's clothing, you could say, like, it's almost like they never existed apart from, like, the memories of the people that survived. Why is it that Groot's arm didn't disappear as well? Because it should have. It was a part of Groot. Like, so I think, like, that's one thing that I thought, even, like, it might even be better as a storytelling piece, or, like, kind of set piece, that his arm does dissolve, Stormbreaker falls apart, which makes it so Thor can't use it to open the Bifrost and chase after Thanos. Because I thought it was really confusing at the end, very rushed, that Thor wasn't there as far as that kind of final battle to, like, try and prevent Thanos from getting to Vision. Like, why didn't he show up? Like, he's obviously the heavy hitter of the team. He clearly should have been there. But the only logical explanation is that if Thor shows up, Thanos dies. Because clearly Stormbreaker had the ability to kill Thanos. And so in order to prevent that from happening, because they needed Thanos to win, they just have Thor not show up, like they forgot he existed almost. I mean, at least give me an explanation for why, like that he's stuck doing something else, or I don't know what. Like, there's not a lot of things that you could do at that point, because Thor was at such a high power level that, like, what could possibly detain him? But anyways, why wasn't he? Why didn't he respond? And I think then there's the question of, why didn't Thor chase after Thanos after he used the Space Stone to, I guess, kind of teleport out? Why didn't he? Because you think that he would. You think that he'd immediately open the Bifrost and... But he didn't. It makes it confusing versus where what they could have had was an even heavier weight of kind of heroic despair there if Groot's arm had disappeared. So, I don't know. I just have those questions. If you agree, disagree, whatever, let me know down in the comments. Like I said, if you didn't want spoilers, you watched it anyway, your blood is on your own hands. But if you have other thoughts, other questions about the movie, something you want to talk about, feel free to leave that. Again, super sorry that the audio didn't work out, but I'll get that worked out somehow. And I guess there's a guy called channel called One Reality that I did a response video to, that he's done a response video to mine. And so honestly, go ahead, like, I'm gonna put a link in the description down there, and go out there, watch that video, watch my video, and then watch his original video. I'll have to try to find all those links, and give me some feedback on that stuff. And I guess, who do you think wins the debate, or whatever? So, peace.